Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing, and this is another afternoon update. We're going to get into agix, dappt, XRP, Bitcoin, and another, I think XLM I did in this video. But this is a clip from Peter Schiff exposing, explaining, and sidestepping the propaganda with the new 85,000 plus IRS agents that have been hired due to the Inflation Reduction Act. And he's going to simply explain to you on something that I've stated, that the IRS agents are going after the middle class because the middle class is where all the money is. So that is where the IRS agents are going to target. And the middle class and the working poor are the ones that are hiding income and trying to keep more of their income and pay less taxes, as far as the IRS is concerned, illegally, because they are just trying to make ends meet, whether they're a small business owner or just having second and third jobs on the side, paying cash or whatnot. These agents are going to be going after you, yes, you, the hardworking person in the middle class that builds, produces, ships, and drives the country, right? The middle class is what keeps the country turning, and now the IRS is going to directly be pointed at you with 85,000 plus new criminal gangster henchmen to go out there and extort and fleece, heist, and shyst the hardworking average American that's just trying to get by, as they try to push propaganda and say it's to go after the ultra rich. Well, there ain't that many ultra rich people. You could do that with 5 IRS agents, right? Just take a listen real quick here, and I recommend that all of you follow Peter Schiff. I've been listening to old Peter Schiff for 15 or so years now, and if maybe even 20 years. And if you don't like his stance on crypto, just X that out and don't listen to when he talks about crypto, or as I would recommend, listen to somebody with an opposing view than you have, because maybe you'll think about something that you normally wouldn't be thinking about if you just kept yourself isolated and enclosed into a little tight circuit of thought, ideas, and thinking, right? Take a listen.
Voted in favor of this. Supposedly the Democrats are the champion of the little guy. Well, why are they sicking the IRS on the little guy? Now, they all claim that this is for the millionaires and billionaires, but we know it's not. You don't need all these IRS agents to go after a handful of billionaires, and however many millionaires there are, they're going after the middle class. In fact, there's an old quote from the infamous bank robber, Willie Sutton. I've used this before, but it's so appropriate again here. Willie Sutton was asked by a reporter, "Why do you rob banks?" And his answer, "Because that's where the money is." Duh. Well, why do you audit the middle class? Why do you audit the self-employed, small business owners, gig workers, people with side hustles? Because that is where the money is, and that is where the IRS is going to go. It doesn't matter what the Democrats want to pretend. They know where this $200 billion is coming from, and it's not from the billionaires and the millionaires. It's from their own constituents, or at least the people they pretend are their constituents. But I pointed this out from the beginning. I warned about this early on a couple of years ago when you had Elizabeth Warren and everybody talking about how we need to expand the IRS to go after the tax cheats. I knew at the time that the tax cheats that they were going to go after were ordinary Americans, middle-class Americans. They didn't have the guts to say it, but I knew that's what they were going to do. Again, it's the same thing they did with the income tax. When they first passed the income tax constitutional amendment back in 1913, what did the politicians say? We're going after the millionaires. We're going after the billionaires, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, the Mellons, the Morgans. That's who we're going to tax. In fact, the politicians of the day said if we can only get this income tax on the super rich, we'll be able to lower taxes on everybody else. We're going to trade the income tax for tariffs because everybody knew that the middle class paid.
And you can see still 75, 80 years later, the American populace is no more educated in the matter of government policies, government regulations, the IRS, and federal income taxes as they were back when it started. They still fall for the same trap. They still fall for the same playbook, the same propaganda, and the same criminal gangsters extorting the average working American, because the average American still does not understand by design. That's the way they designed it. with the educational system. They don't understand how the system works, and they believe wholeheartedly to a T the bombardment of propaganda that comes out of the mainstream media, the lies and deceit and deception that come from politicians, banksters, corporations, the president, the senators, national, local, radio, and the propaganda even spreads into Hollywood and their movies, right? Continue to watch the video. I got some great technical analysis. Peace and love. Peace and a lot for you as far as giving you a leg up and an advantage on where the crypto market might go and where all the Fed or the equity markets and whatnot will go. But you can see here with the Bitcoin price, we pumped up last night on the lower support, and now we're up here again. And option one is you come back test again this underneath yellow uptrending line and the green 200 day, and either A, bounce off of it and then try to break up again, or B, you trade down and end up coming back down to this underneath target. Every time it comes up here and doesn't break it, it leads me to believe you might have to come back down to this underneath support, but that's what you're watching for now, is a back test here or some kind of big mad volume push and spike to knock the price up. So I'd be watching out for that 23,190 uptrending support. If we go look at real quick, dappt, let's see what it's doing today. You can see it's still trading sideways, but it's trending to try to break the 200 day to the downside. And if it breaks the 200 day, it would probably come back down here, and that's what we're waiting for, just like it did all back there. Because if you're going to try to swing trade this on current pattern, you want to buy it down here and then sell it up there. And right now it's still exactly where it was yesterday, just trading sideways or parallel along all the moving averages. Right now it's currently sitting on or just above the 200 day and the 4 hourly, right? AGIX, this one is sitting just below its resistance point, nearly in an identical spot as yesterday. It came up a little bit from last night. I believe it was sitting in here. It came up now and tapped again for a third time on your major upper resistance. And I still think it's coming down to the 200 day and or this falling channel lower support that used to be major upper resistance. So I'd be targeting the 200 day at about the 0.0501-ish area right there, right on the 200 day. I think that's where AGIX is going to come down and retest next, seeing as you've gotten rejected multiple times by major upper resistance. If you want to know what upper resistance I'm talking about, check out the video from yesterday, right? And then if we go into the XRP price, you can see we're trading back down now after what looks to be a little hour time frame to 45-minute time frame double top right here. And if I had to guess with XRP, I would say you're coming back to the 200 day right now, and then you would either A, bounce, fight your way back over and continue up, or B, come down, come back up, get rejected, and then fall down and come back down into the supply zone around 30 to 32 cents. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.